During 2008 through 2016, President Barack Obama handled many events during his presidency. The Affordable Care Act and gun control were some topics he engaged in. We spoke to some Ashbrook professors to learn more about these social issues.
In 2010, Congress passed the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. And the most controversial issue of this piece of legislation is called the individual mandate. Now, the whole Obamacare package really is the signature piece of legislation from the Obama years. But the individual mandate remains the most controversial aspect of that bill. And what the individual mandate did is that it required all Americans to purchase health insurance if they were unable to obtain health insurance through their employer. So, many Americans receive health insurance through their employer. Those who don't, however, will now be required to purchase health insurance on the open market. And if they fail to do that, if they fail to buy health insurance, they will be punished. The piece of legislation called a shared responsibility payment. That was the language used in the bill. They didn't use the word tax, for example. They didn't use the word fee or fine. It was a shared responsibility payment. But basically what it means in practice is you will be charged a penalty. You'll have to pay money out of your own pocket if you fail to purchase health insurance.
I think there was a general consensus in the Democratic Party under President Obama after terrible tragedies like Sandy Hook in favor of gun control. And the national consensus may be too strong, but certainly a national opinion came together on that. But again, the Republican Party platform has been fairly strongly in favor of Second Amendment rights read expansively. So been general opposition to gun control. And I think you've had where you've had more action actually during the Obama administration on gun control issues was probably at the state and local level. So it's certainly still a big and important political issue that divides the parties. And I think probably that since President Obama's time, the Democratic Party, because it's become less connected to rural areas in the United States, is probably becoming more and more pro-gun control over time. And the Republican Party, because it is representing more and more rural areas, has become more and more anti-gun control over time.
Some people thought he handled it well, and some people didn't think he handled it well. The result of the shooting was, of course, renewed calls for gun control. There were a lot of people that weren't happy about that. But I think even among Obama supporters, or people that were inclined to support Obama, there were some who thought he didn't do enough in terms of pushing renewed gun control legislation on Congress and getting them to accomplish more. He was very vocal about the shooting and the need for increased supervision and regulation of guns and the purchase of firearms for a while. And then the issue kind of dropped after a while, within a month or two. So some were satisfied, others were not so satisfied with how he handled that.
Like some people say President Obama's election and then his administration fundamentally moved the Democratic Party to the left and the Republican Party to the right. And so now we really we have parties based on political ideas or even ideologies, not based on geography, where it used to be more geographic based and otherwise. Some people, that really probably did not come from the Obama administration, probably that his administration accelerated that trend. But I think, again, a great question going forward, and we'll see it in this 2020 election, is President Obama won a lot of counties, including it twice, in 2008 and 2012. Including a lot of counties in Ohio, that then voted for President Trump in 2016. So what's going to be really interesting is, was it President Obama who got support in those counties and now people have switched their alliance to President Trump, or is it they're moving away from the Democratic Party? We're going to find out now with 2020 election and whether Joe Biden can recapture some of those counties, including here in Ohio, or whether President Trump and the Republicans will actually continue to make progress and headway in those counties. To me, it will be, what's Obama's political legacy will be in part determined by this 2020 election.